Hi dear students, today we are going to see the 14th chapter, the Second World War. The 12th and 13th chapter we had seen, the first one, the First World War, then as an effect, after effect of First World War, the rise of dictatorship. Some of the treaties made during the First World War, it was against some European countries. So we saw the rise of dictatorship. In this chapter, we are going to see the Second World War. The unjust clauses of the Treaty of Versailles was the reason for the Second World War. We had seen the treaties made after the First World War, and it was totally against Germany and Italy and some of the European countries. The clauses made after the First World War, that is known as the Treaty of Versailles, that produced in a way, or that led to the Second World War. And after the First World War, there was a formation of League of Nations. The reason for the Second World War, in a way we can say, the failure of the League of Nations. The League of Nations, they failed to prevent a second war. And at the same time, we will understand the Second World War, it was something devastating, or the Second World War, it was something caused much ruin compared to the First World War. The First World War, it was something very great and it destroyed many countries, and the Second World War, it was something more dangerous than the First World War. Now we will see what were the causes of the Second World War. As you know, the first point, it is dissatisfaction over the Treaty of Versailles. Dissatisfaction over the Treaty of Versailles. Germany and Italy both were dissatisfied with the treaties made after the First World War, especially Treaty of Versailles. Now we will see what were the dissatisfaction after the Treaty of Versailles. All other countries condemned Germany for the war and the destruction caused after the war. First point, the victorious powers took away huge chunks of its territory and its colonies in East Africa and South West Africa. The chunks means the important places. The victorious powers, you know, Britain, France and Russia, they took away the important chunks or important places from Germany, and some of the colonies also they had taken away from Germany. And Germany had been compelled to pay $33 billion as war indemnity to the Allies. Indemnity means compensation. The Germany had been compelled to pay $33 billion as war indemnity to Allies, that is, to the French, Russia and Britain as a compensation after the war. Third point, Germany surrendered its merchant ships as compensation and was forced to supply coal to Italy, Belgium and France for 10 years. And the last one, German army was limited to 15,000 men and their air force was banned. So totally something against German and German nationality. That was a reason for the Second World War. First reason for the Second World War. The proud Germans, the people, the Germans, those who loved their country more than anything, they could not tolerate the high hardness. Hardness means a partial view, a one way, a partiality only towards the Allied group on the part of the Allies, but at the same time they were not in a position to protest. They were not able to tolerate the conditions made after the First World War during the Treaty of Versailles, but the problem was that German people, they were not in a position to protest. That means they were not having enough money power, they were not having enough army power, so they were not in a position to protest against the treaties, so they just obeyed. Till what time? When Hitler came to power, he started disobeying the provisions of the peace treaty and finally plunged into a serious conquest. Plunged means thrust or immerse into a serious conquest. Here, Germans or German people, they were not in a position to fight against the Allied group, or they were not able to raise their voice against the treaties. But when Hitler came to power, he started to disobey all the treaties made and all the rules made, and he started to conquer other countries and other regions which Germany lost after the First World War. The next point, it is the rise of fascism in Italy. The last chapter we had seen the rise of fascism in Italy under Mussolini. The First World War, Italy was with the Allies, but she did not gain anything after the First World War. Rather than gaining something, she lost many things. They stood with other countries just like Britain, France and Russia in order to get some benefits after the First World War, but in fact they did not gain anything after the First World War. And additional to that one, price rise, poverty, unemployment and hunger etc. was playing a high role in Italy. And the existing democratic government of Giolitti could not solve these problems. The existing government was not able to solve the problems, so that was the reason for the rise of fascism in Italy. In such a kind of condition, the fascist idea got spirit, and we can notice a rise of fascism in Italy under Mussolini because of certain situation. What was the situation? Italy did not get any gain after the First World War, and problems like poverty, unemployment, hunger and the existing democratic government was not able to solve such a kind of problems. In this background, the fascists under Mussolini were allowed to form the government. The condition of Italy was something very worse, and in that condition the fascists, they got power under Mussolini. And what was their concept? Mussolini believed in expansionist policy. Expansionist means to expand the territories by conquering other country. Just like Hitler, he also just promoted the expansionist policy. Italy joined Rome, Berlin, Tokyo axis. That was the new allies. That means Rome, Berlin, Tokyo. Rome means Italy, Berlin means Germany, Tokyo means Japan. New ally, that is Rome, Berlin, Tokyo axis. Along with Germany and Japan, Italy attacked Abyssinia and joined the Second World War. By attacking a region in Ethiopia, Italy started or just joined with the Second World War. And the third reason, it is the Hitler's aggression. That means he also had a desire to expand his territory. And we had seen after the Treaty of Versailles, the victorious countries, they put forward certain conditions. That the one of the conditions was that Germany was not allowed to form military. They were not allowed to maintain the aircraft or the military strength more than 15,000. But Hitler violated such a kind of treaty. Hitler violated the clauses of the Treaty of Versailles and increased the military strength. The actual strength that was promoted by the Treaty of Versailles, it was 15,000, but Hitler increased the military strength of Germany, and then he started to invade or conquer some other countries. First of all, he conquered Rhineland and then Vienna. And again he wanted to conquer Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia. The Sudetenland means the particular area where the German people were more. and Hitler wanted to get back that particular territory from Czechoslovakia, but the president of Czechoslovakia, he was not willing to give back that territory. So the head of the four countries, the main countries like Britain, France, Italy and Germany met together and took a decision that Sudetenland will not be handed over to Germany. But Hitler again attacked that land and took away the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia, and later rest of Czechoslovakia was captured without any reason. So his aim was to conquer Sudetenland, but the president of Czechoslovakia, he was not agreeing with such a kind of concept. So the leaders of four countries like Germany, Italy, Britain and France, they joined and they met together and took a decision that the Sudetenland will not be handed over to Germany, but later Germany attacked Sudetenland and took away that particular region, and at the same time later Germany attacked Czechoslovakia without any reason and conquered the entire country. That is the third point for the Second World War. The fourth reason is that the policy of appeasement. Appeasement means accept the demand of the aggressive powers. After seeing the rise of dictatorship in Germany and Italy, France and Britain followed a policy of appeasement. That means they just followed or accepted the demands from the aggressive powers like Japan, Italy and Germany. And they thought that some of the demands put forward by these countries were something reasonable, and there were several factors which led to such a kind of policy by France and Britain. The reasons were Britain and France, they knew that the Treaty of Versailles was too harsh for the defeated powers. Defeated powers means especially for Germany. The Treaty of Versailles was something very or too harsh for the defeated power and Germany. The second point is that the victorious powers, they thought that Germany and Italy, they had the genuine grievances, and if that grievances is removed, then they would cool down. That was the mentality of the victorious powers like Britain and France. Just solve the problems faced by Germany and Italy. So once it is solved, then they won't attack. That was the idea of the victorious powers. And the third one, it was that both Britain and France wanted to avoid a war. Why? Because already they were busy with some internal problems. Britain and France were busy with some internal problems, so they wanted to avoid war with the other countries, and they were not in a position to fight against a powerful aggressor like Hitler. Hitler was one of the strongest, he was having the strongest army in the world that time, and Britain and France, they were not in a position to fight against such a kind of strongest aggressor or a dictator. And when Hitler attacked some of the countries like Rhineland, then Britain and France, they did not pay attention and they did not help that particular region. They did nothing when Germany remilitarized the Rhineland, and they only half-hearted British action against the Italian invasion of Abyssinia. So whenever these aggressive powers, they attacked some countries, then they accepted the victorious powers like France and Britain. They accepted such a kind of actions from these aggressive powers because these countries, Britain and France, followed the policy of appeasement. So that was the fourth reason for the Second World War. The fifth reason, it is the Japan's invasion of China. Japan wanted to get supremacy in the Far East region. With that aim, they attacked China. So in that condition, China demanded a help from League of Nations, and they asked the League of Nations to declare sanction against Japan. Sanctions means some kind of punishment or actions against Japan. But France and Britain did not pay any attention. Here means any action to appeal. They were not ready to take any actions against Japan, because Japan also was with their aggressive powers like Germany and Italy. So when Japan attacked China asked help from League of Nations in order to declare sanction against Japan, but it was not done, and they did not pay attention. Britain and France did not pay attention in order to take any action against Japan. Because of that, Japan conquered or occupied Manchuria and formed a government there in Manchuria. And in that situation, Japan joined with the Rome, Berlin, Tokyo axis, and they started to follow their expansionist policy. With that aim, they left League of Nations, because by being with the League of Nations, it was not possible to expand the territories. So Japan left the League of Nations with what view? To expand the territories and get a domination in the Far East region. And Japan started to attack China and declared war against China. And this time Britain and France followed a policy of appeasement, and they did not take any actions. The reason is that it was to weaken China, because that time China also was getting more powerful, and Britain and France thought it was a better opportunity to weaken China. So when Japan attacked China or declared war against China, France and Britain did not pay any attention towards such a kind of actions done by Japan. The next reason is the failure of the League of Nations. As you know, the League of Nations formed in order to promote international peace and avoid a future war. But in a way, the League of Nations, it was a failure in such a kind of concept. The reason for the establishment of League of Nations was to promote international peace and avoid a future war. But League of Nations, it became ineffective because of some of the policies followed by the powerful aggressors, especially some of the members of League of Nations. The League became ineffective against the powerful aggressors like Hitler or Mussolini. League was not able to do anything against such kind of powerful aggressors. Besides, the member states were not eager to apply economic sanctions. Why? Because if they wanted to apply economic sanctions, then it affected their economy. So they were not in a position to apply the economic sanctions. And whenever some of the aggressors attacked some other countries, League of Nations, they did not pay any attention towards such kind of actions. And even the members of League of Nations, they were also not paying any actions, or they were not raising their voice against the aggressors. And they were not interested in the principle of collective security. That means the members, they were responsible for the security of the other countries, but many countries were not interested to follow the collective security. And different countries of Europe lost faith in the League of Nations as it failed to maintain international peace. Since League of Nations, it was not able to maintain the international peace, many European countries lost their faith in the League of Nations. So the failure of the League of Nations, that was the next reason for the Second World War. So far we had seen some of the causes of the Second World War. And now we will see the immediate cause for the Second World War. Hitler wanted to get back a city from Poland. The city's name was Danzig, and it was a port city, and it was given to Poland after the First World War and in the Treaty of Versailles. So here Hitler wanted to get back that particular city from Poland, and there were some reason for getting that city back to Germany. The reasons was that it was inhabited by the Germans. That means many Germans were living in that particular city, and Hitler thought that city is part of Germany since many Germans are living in that particular city. Besides, by occupying Danzig, he could connect East Prussia with Germany. That means he will get a sea route. He could connect with the East Prussia with Germany, and there he agreed a non-aggression pact with Russia so that he can move the ships, and a sea route, new sea route he will get. That is why he demanded for Danzig from Poland, and Poland was accused of committing atrocities against the Germans living there, and Hitler claimed that Poland was not doing in favor of the German citizens, those who were living in Danzig, and they were doing many atrocities against the German people. And keeping this aim in mind, on 1st September 1939, Hitler's troops marched into Poland. In reply, on 3rd September, Britain and France declared war against Germany. So that is the immediate cause for the Second World War. Hitler wanted to get Danzig from Poland, and there were certain reasons for that one. The first one, many Germans were living in that city, and Poland was not doing anything in favor of the German people, those who were living in Danzig. At the same time, Germany could connect easily with the East Prussia. That was the second reason. With this aim, the Germans started to attack Poland, especially Danzig, that particular city. Keeping that aim in the mind, the army marched towards Poland. So in response to that one, Britain and France declared war against Germany, and that is the starting of the Second World War. Now we are going to see the next topic, that is events of the Second World War. Before the First World War, we had seen there some countries formed alliances. So here, before the Second World War also, some alliances were made between European and Asian countries. Italy, Germany and Japan together, they formed an alliance which is known as Axis powers. And Britain, France and USA formed an alliance that is known as Allied powers. Earlier we had seen, before the First World, it was Triple Alliance and Triple Entente. Here, Axis powers and Allied powers. Hitler attacked, after forming the alliance, Hitler attacked Poland, and it was defeated quickly because of German Blitzkrieg war, for which the Poles were ill-occupied. It consisted of rapid thrust by motorized divisions and tanks supported by air power. Some details about the war is given. Hitler attacked Poland in a lightning war. That means very fast or in an unexpected manner. Hitler attacked Poland, and the Poland army, it was ill-occupied. It was not having proper weapons and arms. And getting inspiration from this war, Hitler again attacked Norway, Denmark and Holland, and again Blitzkrieg method. Blitzkrieg method means very fastest, very quick method, lightning war. And in a way, he conquered all these territories. He used motorized divisions and tanks during the war, and Germany was well occupied with all the weapons, and he attacked all these countries which were ill occupied and which were not having proper weapons and arms. And it brought a swift victory, that means very quick or fast victory, through the method of lightning war or Blitzkrieg method. He brought a swift victory or the very fastest victory. And again, he was not satisfied with getting these countries or the properties of these countries. He occupied Paris, that is the capital of France. Occupied Paris on 14th June 1940. And France surrendered on 22nd June 1940. In fact, the French psychologically were not prepared for the war. They were not. The French army and the French people, they were not prepared mentally for the war. So Germany defeated France very quick manner and occupied Paris, the capital of France. The events, that is the Battle of Britain. The next event we can see, that is the Battle of Britain. From 12th August to 30th September 1940, Germans bombed harbors, radar stations, munitions factories, and they began air attacks on London. Munitions means the factories in which the weapons or arms are made. So the Germans started attack on London, its harbors, radars, and the factories were attacked by Germans. But Britain was not just like France. Britain here survived from German attacks. How it was having good radar system and it understood the attack from Germany and they defended. And as a result, Germany realized that Britain is something very difficult to defeat. So when Hitler realized that the British air power could not be destroyed, he called off the invasion, that means the war. The Battle of Britain proved that Germans were not invincible. Invincible means impossible to defeat. After the war against the Britain, other countries came to know that even Germany can be defeated. Before that, there was a belief that Hitler, such an aggressive dictator, he can conquer all the world. But after the defeat from Britain, the people realized that even Germany can be defeated, and even Hitler realized the superiority of British army. That is the Battle of Britain. The next point is the entry of the USA in the war. You might have heard about the movie Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor, it was a port and it was occupied by American army and it was an American island. It was attacked by Japan. You know Japan. He belonged to the Triple Alliance with the Germany and Italy. They attacked USA or America on 7th December 1941. Japan attacked the American naval base Pearl Harbor in the Hawaiian Islands, and this incident brought America into the Second World War. It was a colony by America, it was a naval base of America, and it was attacked by Japan. Because of that, America entered into war. And what Japan did to America or this particular naval base, they attacked 353 Japanese aircraft came undetected at Pearl Harbor, and within 2 hours they completely destroyed that particular island. 5 warships or battleships, 350 aircrafts, and killed 3,000 men, 3,700 men. Because of this incident, America also entered into war, and America declared war on Japan. After the battle with Britain, Germany then turned towards Russia. The German army reached Stalingrad at the end of August 1942, and it was a ruined city, and Germany thought it was very easy to defeat the Russian army. But something surprising happened there. The Russian army, they did not surrender. Instead of that, they fought against German army. And 1 lakh men of German with their commander, they surrendered to the Russian army after the war with Russia. It was a total defeat for Germany, and it was a great boost for the Russian morale, and people now started to think that Germany is very easy to defeat. Even one experience already people had, that the Britain defeated Germany. Now Russia also defeated Germany. So the defeat of the Germans broke the myth that they were invincible. There was a myth that it was very difficult to defeat the Germans or the German army, but that myth is broken, and it boosted the Russian morale. And the next point, it is the fall of Italy. In July 1943, the Allies attacked Italy, and in April 1945, Mussolini and his mistress were shot dead. Fall of Italy, the one of the Allied members with Germany and Japan. It was the defeat of Italy on 1943. The Allies were attacked Italy. Allies means it was Britain, France and USA. They together attacked Italy and it was a total defeat of Italy. And after that, the aggressor or the dictator Mussolini and his wife, both were shot dead. That is the fall of Italy. And the next important thing that happened during the Second World War, it was the fall of Berlin. Berlin means here Germany, the second Allied power. The Battle of Berlin started in April 1945. The Germans were caught between the British and Americans on one side and the Russians on the other side. So from one side, Britain and Americans, they started to attack Germany, and on the other side Russians also started to attack. So the German army or the men, they were in between and in the middle. So there was no escape from the enemy's attack. Berlin fell to Stalin's forces and Hitler committed suicide. Berlin fell to Stalin. Stalin was the ruler of Russia. So Berlin defeated by Russia. And Hitler committed suicide. After seeing the fall of Berlin, Hitler committed suicide. German army surrendered on 7th May 1945. The total defeat of, or the absolute or the complete defeat of German army. The fall of Berlin. We had seen the fall of Italy, and now it is the fall of Berlin. And the next, what happened to the next Allied power? That is the Japan. Already we had seen that Japan attacked America, and only because of that America entered into the war. Now America wanted to take revenge against the Japan and to make an end to the war. So the next one, it is the defeat of Japan. On 6th August 1945, the American dropped an atom bomb on Hiroshima, killing about 84,000 people and bearing thousands slowly dying of radiation poisoning. It was the first time in Second World War atom bomb was used. It was the first time in human history the atom bomb was used. That was in the Second World War. America dropped atom bomb and killing 84,000 of people, and more dangerous was that it produced the poisoning radiation which killed many other people later. And again on 9th August 1945, they dropped one more on Nagasaki which killed 4,000 people. And then Japan surrendered to the Allies. Truman justified these bombardments by telling that he was trying to save American lives as the war otherwise might drag on for another year. Dropping atom bomb, it was criticized by all countries because it killed many innocent people, and it led to the slow dying of many people because of the radiation poisoning. But Truman, the president of America that time, he justified such a kind of dropping of atom bomb on Japan by saying that there was only one way to save American, that was dropping bombs in Japan, so that the war could come to an end. That was the aim of Truman or America, to make an end to the war. That was the reason of dropping bombs there in these two cities in Japan. The cities were Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So he wanted to quicken the end of the war. So that was the reason. He wanted to make a fast end, very immediate end for the war. That was the reason he dropped bomb in this country. Many historians remark that the bombings were not needed as the Japanese government already had sent peace feelers in July via Russia. Finally, Japan surrendered on 15th August 1945, and Japan was occupied by General MacArthur. with the surrender of Japan, the Second World War came to an end. Already, some historians and some of the people, those who promote the humanity more than anything, they said that bombing, atom bomb in Japan, it was something very pathetic, and they criticized the actions of America, but America justified by saying that they did it is in order to make a fast end to the Second World War. And on the other side, Japan already surrendered. Before the dropping of bomb, Japan already surrendered. Then also America dropped the atom bombs. The reason was that America wanted to show their supremacy over other countries. And Japan was surrendered, and after the surrender, the Second World War came to an end. Now we will see the consequences of the Second World War, the result of the Second World War. First of all, defeat of the Axis powers. You know the Axis powers, Germany, Italy and Japan. First of all, it was the defeat, that was the consequence or the result, defeat of the Axis powers. The Second World War led to the overthrow of the fascist and Nazi dictatorship. Fascist dictatorship in Italy and Nazi dictatorship in Germany. Germany, Italy and Japan surrendered to the Allies. The Allies occupied Germany and it was divided into 4 zones. The German territories and the properties were divided into 4 colonies or 4 zones. The American zone, the British zone, the Russian zone and the French zone. The zone of America, Britain and French, and they formed into one region. They combined together to form the Federal Republic of Germany, and it was known as West Germany. All the properties occupied by America, British and French, they together came to known as West Germany, and they were promoting the capitalistic ideology. And the capital of the West Germany was Bonn. The particular area or the West Germany, it was promoting the capitalist ideology and the capital was Bonn. All the 3 zones of British, French and America, they combined all the zones and it came to known as the West zone. And on the other hand, the Russian zone, it was supporting the communist ideology, and that particular area came to known as the German Democratic Republic or the East Germany, and Berlin was the capital of East Germany, and it was guided by the communist ideology. Till 1952, American army was there in Japan, and the entire control was in the hands of America or the American army. And after that, the Japan was free to do by themselves. And their administration after that the Japanese could control their administration by themselves. Emperor Hirohito was the constitutional monarch of Japan, and all the lands captured by Japan since 1895 were taken away. That is the first consequence or the result of the Second World War. The next important result or the consequence of the Second World War, it was the Cold War. After the Second World War, many of the European countries, the dominating European countries, they got destroyed. Till the Second World War, the world was controlled by Britain, French, German, Portugal and many other European countries. But after the Second World War, things got changed. After the Second World War, the traditional colonial powers of Europe like England, France, Italy, Germany, Spain and Portugal lost their importance in the world politics as they themselves became politically, economically and militarily weak. In their place, 2 major powers emerged in international politics. They were America and Russia. So the European countries lost their domination, and in their place, two other countries emerged. That was America and Russia. America was following the capitalist ideology, and Russia was following the communist ideology. There had been ideological differences between these two countries because one was following the communist ideology, that means the socialism, and on the other side the capitalistic ideology or the corporative. So one was following the capitalist and the other one was following the communist. So there was an ideological differences between these two countries. There had been mutual suspicion, hatred and tension between these two countries. But this tension did not take the form of an open armed clash or the war. This is known as the politics of Cold War. That means there was no war with the weapons. There was some ideological differences and they were having suspicions or hatred or tension between these two countries, but it did not take the form of a war, and that was known as the Cold War. The Cold War, it was devised by Bernard Baruch. This was war of words. It was not a war of weapons, it was a war of words, the war between the ideologies. That means the capitalistic ideology and the communist ideology. And Cold War is an extreme form of political unfriendliness between the American bloc and Russian bloc. It was an unfriendliness between two blocs, American bloc on one side and on the other side it was the Russian side. And there had been uneasy peace. Just there was no peace at all and there was no war also. It was a war with the words, and the entire world divided into two blocks, Russian bloc and the American blocs. It was neither a condition of peace nor a condition of war. It was not a condition of peace, but there is no war also. It was just a war with the words, and mutual suspicions and hatred emerged between these countries, and they were not agreeing each other. Thus, bipolarism developed in international politics, meaning emergence of the capitalist bloc and the communist bloc. So, as a result of Cold War, bipolarism, that means two poles emerged. On the one pole, it was American ideology, that was capitalist, and on the other side, there was one more pole, that was Russian pole or the communist bloc. Two blocks emerged. Two poles were emerged, capitalist bloc and the communist bloc. And here America along with some other countries formed a group, an organization, that was NATO. Each bloc tried to form military alliance with the different countries of the world, as for example NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Again, the alliances were made. It was not for the war with the words, it was not for the war with the weapons, but it was a war with the words and the war between the ideologies. So America first formed an alliance with some of the countries of the world. That means that is the first one. It is the NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was formed between USA and many West European countries like Canada, Britain, France, Belgium, Holland, Luxembourg, Ireland and Portugal. So these were the countries belonged to the capitalist bloc. And on the other side, to strengthen its position, Soviet Union and the socialist countries of East Europe like Poland, Hungary, Bulgaria, Romania and Czechoslovakia formed the Warsaw Pact. America also formed, or the capitalist bloc also formed some of the alliance, and on the other side the Russia or the communist bloc, they also made some alliance with some European countries. So the entire world was divided into two blocks, the capitalist bloc and the communist bloc, and there was a Cold War was going on between these countries. That means the war with the words, not with the weapons. The Cold War led to the various proxy wars like Korean War, Cuban Missile Crisis and Vietnam War, Congo War, etc. So because of this Cold War, some minor wars took place around the world, and the Russian leader Mikhail Gorbachev, liberal policies, he was having a liberal policies, that means something more freedom. The policies of glasnost and perestroika contributed to a large extent to relieve the world of the Cold War tension. Because of the liberal policies by Gorbachev, the tensions of the Cold War got relieved, and the Warsaw Pact got dissolved in July 1991, and Soviet Union collapsed in December 1991. The next result or the consequence, it was the birth of United Nations or UN. After the First World War, we have seen there formed a League of Nations, but it was a failure. And what was the reason for the establishment of League of Nations? To keep peace, to keep international peace and avoid future wars, but it was a failure. And here, after the Second World War, the people wanted to have a world with free from all the wars. After the Second World War, people wanted a peaceful world free from all kind of war and fighting. Because of this reason, Churchill, the British Prime Minister, Stalin, the Russian President, and Roosevelt, the American President, met at the Yalta Conference in February 1945 and decided to hold a conference again at San Francisco to finalize the Charter of United Nations, the establishment of United Nations. And what was the reason for the establishment? In order to keep or maintain peace internationally. Thus, the United Nations emerged as a world peacekeeping body on 24th October 1945. Any peace-loving country ready to obey the UN Charter can be the member of the UNO. That was the establishment of United Nations. What was the reason for the establishment? In order to avoid a future war. People wanted a world, a peaceful world, which is free from all the wars, and with that purpose, UN or United Nations established as a peacekeeping body. So that is the end of chapter 14, Second World War. Here we had seen the Second World War, the events and causes of the Second World War, and the result of the Second World War. You may please go through the chapter once again and write the question answers given there in the textbook. The first 5 from the short answers and the first 2 from the structured questions. Thank you. Have a nice day.